Hey guys, it's RX here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another Akko Pro Switch review, and for this one I'm very much excited to try, as this is one of my favorite Akko Tactiles before. So today let's all take a look and listen at the new Akko Lavender Purple Pro. A quick disclaimer that the switches was sent by Akko for a review, but I wasn't paid to make the video, and of course, I'll give you guys my honest and unbiased opinion about the switch. You may check out all of Akko's link on my description down below. Let's take a look at the switches. So this is like, again, the improved version of their first budget line of switches was the Cs Lavender Purple. These are now a 5-pin linear switch, and surprisingly, it's the same price as the first version, coming in at $9.99 for a pack of 45. Deconstructing the switches, again, these are now a 5-pin switch. And we have polycarbonate, the usual for the top housing, nylon on the bottom housing, and it's using a dust-proof long pole palm stem, and a 45-gram operating force with a total travel of 3.8mm. Now here's a side-by-side comparison with the CS Lavender Purple. Again, from 3-pin now to 5-pin. The top housing is still the same, MX-style housing, and same as the Keebzilla Pro, they made some improvements on the switch stability and additional lube on the rails for a better out-of-the-box experience. Now for the Soundtest itself, we will not be doing a stock versus lube comparison, as the switches comes in with a light pre-factory lube. But of course, we'll be doing a sound comparison versus the other Akko switches. And speaking of the Soundtest, please do keep in mind that the sound and experience will always vary depending on your keyboard build. Now for the sound test, we'll be using our Vega65, and I'll put all of my configuration down below. If you want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the switch, you may stick around at the end of the sound test, or feel free to check the timestamps. So with all of that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test on the Akko Lavender Purple Pro. And that was the sound test on the Akko Lavender Purple Pro. Please do let me know on what you think about them on the comment section down below, and let's have some quick discussions. If you also made it up to this point of the video, I'd like to say thank you for staying, and now let's talk about my thoughts and opinion about the Switch. Finally, let's talk about my thoughts on the feel. On stock, the pre-factory lube was surprisingly smooth and consistent. If you watch some of my reviews, I don't really like my Tactiles unlubed or using it with a pre-factory lube. But again, to my surprise, I didn't find any means to relube the switches. Now, I'm not setting the switches up there as a tactile switch, but it just feels smooth enough to be really used on stock for a tactile switch. Now, on stock, I didn't feel that raw plastic feeling and didn't feel any leaf crunch as well. Now, the actuation isn't that light that I've imagined. Feels just about right since it's a tactile. You can really feel the actuations. And speaking of the actuation, it has that round, early to mid bump. Bottoming out isn't that harsh and has that snappy return. Comparing it to the old Lavender Purple, the bump is quite early on those and has a bit more on the sharp tactility feel. Tactility wise on these, I can say they are on par, but I give it up to the Pro as I really like the feel a bit more on these than the old Lavender Pro. Now let's move on to my thoughts on the sound. On stock, it didn't sound that all over the place and didn't sound that harsh. I also didn't hear any leaf crunch, scratches, or lift ping, which is I already expected from Akko. Sound-wise, it has that sharp and clacky tactile sound profile to it, which is really my preference as you can really hear the bump in every actuation, which is really satisfying for me. Now, if you will find the sound a bit harsh for your liking, that is the only time I would suggest to relube them, and if ever, just have it to sound a little bit more subtle. So comparing it to the old Cs Lavender, I can say that these ones, the Pro ones, has more on that clack and more on that higher pitch sound profile. And honestly, I like the sound on these more than the old Cs Lavender as this sounds more solid than the previous version. Overall, the Lavender Purple was always my choice in terms of tactiles from Akko, and to this date, I still suggest them, but right now I would say the Pro ones are now my favorites, and considering they don't have any price increase from the old one, the CS Lavender version, I would say that these are really worth to try or upgrade into. Now, I can really see myself using this on a daily as I want to try and break them in for a couple of while. And if ever, I'll go ahead and upload some updated sound tests on my YouTube shorts. So yeah, they really sound good and feel nice for a budget tactile switch. Now, unlike my take on the Cream Yellow Pros, for the Cream Yellow Pros, I don't really see any reason to upgrade right away, but for this one, the Lavender Pros, I suggest to put them on your list of tactiles to try if ever, and as always, I suggest get one pack first to try the alphas and the modifiers, and if ever you'd like it, you can go from there. And that's it for the video, guys. I actually enjoyed reviewing the switches as the CS Lavenders were really my favorite tactile switch from Akko, and I'm glad to see that the Pro version didn't disappoint me. So I hope you find this review helpful, and if you do, please don't forget to like the video as it really helps out my channel grow. And what's next? Well, we have two more Pro switches from Akko and a full review on the new Zoom 65 V2.5 and more switch reviews from Valid Supply, so please kindly stay tuned for that. Again, please don't forget to like the video, share if you want, and of course, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.